This is really cool. Their golf cart. Looks like a 57 Chevy. So today I'm at Disney's Pop Century Resort. And what I think I'm going to do is give you the room tour first, because there's a lot of grounds to cover here, and I would prefer that we look at the room and then maybe do the grounds tour separately. So let's see what it looks like when we're first checking in. I've already checked in, but I'll show you the registration area and the check-in area and a little idea of what the main hall looks like. So here's the registration desk. So you can see every section of the desk is broken up into a decade. The 1990s, 1980s, 70s, 60s, and all the way down to the 1950s at the end. So they have a lot of display items from the different decades. So you can see right here, it starts at the timeline way back in 1950. And as it goes through, you're going to see different items from the different decades. And as we look at the different decades, the years are indicated up at the ceiling. So here we're in the mid-1950s, and you can see we have the Mickey Mouse Club. We have jukeboxes, bowling, roller skating, and we just continue on and on and on. So I'm staying in the 1960s building, and that overlooks the pool. It's a really nice building. It's one of the updated ones. I feel I got a pretty good rate. I called at the last minute, and I've got 2 nights for $400, so $200 a night. I don't think that's a bad deal. So as we look over the pool, you will see the 60s buildings surround the pool. My room is right over there. And here's a huge yo-yo. And that's something that you can walk through as you enter the building. And they have giant Play-Doh over there. But what I think is even more interesting, in keeping with the Disney theme, is the Jungle Book. And that's where we're going to be walking. My room is way over here on the top floor looking down at the pool. Maybe a tad less impressive from this side. Now I made this reservation at the last minute, probably less than a week, and so I wasn't able to have some of the things sent to me. So I'm using my old Magic Band. I could have had a Magic Band sent to me. Of course, when I checked in, I got a new Magic Band, but that one was just one of the basic gray models that they send you if you don't order one ahead of time. And for those of you who have never stayed at a Disney resort, that's how they'll do it. If you stay on grounds, they will send you the color and with a name imprinted on it. But if you don't, you just get the generic gray when you check in. So even though I had my own, there's mine that I used this time around. That's what I was using today. I did get a gray one on my arrival. So let's take a look at the view from 4th floor by the elevator. So as I said, we're at Disney's Pop Century. As you can see, I'm in room 5406. That means I'm in building number 5, floor 4, and room number 6. And this is a really nice room. It's one of the newly refurbished rooms, and it's one of those that's overlooking the pool, right in the center. So when I show you the grounds tour, you'll get an idea of the layout. But right now, let's take a look at the room. So you can see I've already been in here. I dropped off my luggage, but I haven't really looked around. So as soon as you enter the room, you know, one of the things I really like is when we have charging ports. So right away there's a small little alcove, and I'll show you in a moment how this relates to the beds. But here we have 2 outlets and 2 USB ports. So that's really nice. Then a little area down here where you might put things and store things. Now this is a Murphy bed. I'm going to open that up and show you exactly what that looks like in just a moment. Here is the regular bed, and look at all those pillows. Wowzer. We've got we have 8 pillows here. I'd also like to point out these are really nice pillows. They're really thick. They're not the kind that's squished down. There are some that are softer, some that are firmer, but they're just, as you can see here, they're resilient, and I don't think they're real down, but they're more than just a piece of foam rubber in there. So these are really great pillows. I can't wait to sleep on them. Let's see if we can get the lights on. This is very cool. Kind of Andy Warhol-ish. So there's one light with the bed. And more of these charging ports and outlets. That is just fantastic. You know I love those. Not an incredibly big room. I think if you had more than 2 people, this might be pretty tight quarters. If you had a family staying here, you could do it, because this is one bed, and as I said, that's a Murphy bed. But I think it would be tight. So here is a credenza that has cabinets and drawers. We have a safe in there and extra pillow. Pretty big TV. I suspect that that door would move into an adjoining room if you wanted to create a suite out of this. And here we have shelves, an ice bucket. I passed the ice and soft drink area right around the corner. I'll show it to you in a moment. They have a coffee maker, but interestingly, no coffee unless it's in this drawer. There we go. There's our Joffrey's coffee. And you know I love having a refrigerator in my room, so this is great. Now, the bathroom is a sliding door, so it does slide shut for privacy. We have some pegs if you want to hang things. Let's take a look at the bathroom area. So this is the closet. I find this just a little disappointing. It's not very wide. If you can see my hand span, I would say this is probably 1.5 feet wide, 18 inches. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plenty of hangers, but just not a lot of hanging space. Now there's also something out here if you want to extend and get a little more hanging space. This doesn't seem to open up, so that is nothing there. We have a few cabinets. There's our hair dryer. What else is in here? Our iron is in here. So that's nice that that's tucked away. It's small, but they did make good use of it by having all the compartments. So we have our sink, modest counter space, but some counter space. They have the soap, and let's see what products we have in the shower bathroom area. Usually they have a lot of, oh, you know what? They did not give us products this time. Instead, they have the dispensers in here. Okay, some of you may like that, some of you may not, but they have the body wash, the shampoo, and the conditioner. They still have room up here if you want to bring your own things. They have a line here, I don't know, well, you can see that, for doing things like drying your bathing suits after you use the pool. And they have 2 shower heads. That looks nice. So they have kind of the rain flow shower, and then they have the shower with a handle on the hose that you can use. So that's nice. Get a better look at that. So it comes with 4 bath towels, 2 over here and 2 over here, a bath mat, and it looks like 2 hand towels. Now the reason that I want to point out the towels, I'm only here for 2 days, and they offered me to have no maid service in exchange for $10 applied to my account if I want to go and spend it on something. Well, I, as a single person, will not go through 4 towels in 2 days. So I just arrived today. I'll probably clean up, take a shower, use a towel, and wake up in the morning, use another towel, and I'll still have 2 more for the next day with my checkout, and maybe in between if I want to wash up. So I think in that case I would take that. If you had a family, I would probably not, although they did say if I would need extra towels, I could always call for them. I just would not have a maid service doing the room. One of the things I like about this setup is a family member can be getting ready in the sink area while another family member is having a shower. And you can do that without interrupting each other and allowing one another to maintain privacy. As always, you know I like the big reveal. We kind of already know what's outside that room, don't we? But let's take a look and see what I see when I look out my front window. So that's it. It really is a nice view. However, I probably wouldn't want to leave this open because this is the pathway. And people are going to be coming and going right past the room. That's something you have to be aware of when you stay at this type of a resort. Now I'm going to move my bags out of the way, and we're going to see how this Murphy bed works. Okay, we have a little welcome sheet here, and a little thank you note. We want to do the best we can. So I'm going to set all of these things aside. And I'm also going to have to move the chairs out of the way. So let's do that. Now we're ready. Now I had a similar bed when I was at the Art of Animation, so this is really cool. I think you're gonna like this. I hope that I can get a good shot of pulling this bed down. Okay, so it should be pretty easy. We're gonna grab the handle and we're just gonna pull it down, and look at this. The table folds right under it, and voila, we have a second bed. And I think that's pretty amazing. Put it back. I just reverse the actions. It's really very, very simple. And now I have my table back. I'm about ready to check out. I've spent my 2 days here, and with that background knowledge, there's a few things I would like to point out or remind you of. First of all, a couple of things that are quirky. They're not bad. This is a great room. I would not hesitate to recommend Pop Century to anybody based on my experience. A couple of things that might seem strange to you. Number one, they do have a refrigerator but no microwave oven. But in the hall, they do have microwave ovens that you could take whatever leftovers you may have that you're keeping in your refrigerator, and you could heat them up there. There is no carpeting in the room. This is a room that has been redone. It's one of the newer rooms overlooking the pool, and they don't have carpeting. They're hardwood floor, well, not hardwood, simulated hardwood. It's some kind of vinyl. Now, that's not very unusual in Florida. But I know if you're a traveler and you're used to having carpeted floors, you're not going to have carpeted floors. The other thing I thought was a little strange is they do not have a clock in the room. Now, for a lot of us, we have cell phones anyway. I always use my cell phone as my clock, as my alarm. Since they do have the USB ports next to the bed, I didn't find that to be an issue. But I wanted to point that out to you, that there are no clocks, which I thought was just a little strange. There is no valet service, I don't think, because in the rooms that have valet service that I've ever been to in all my travels, they always have the plastic bag with the hangers that you can put your clothing in and you can get dry cleaned or whatever. Of course, they do have the laundry service, so be aware of that. Remember, they don't have any lotion. You saw what they had in the bathroom. They have shampoo, they have conditioner, and they have the body wash. So there is no lotion. So I don't know if you would call housekeeping and ask them for some lotion, if they would provide that or not. And finally, remember that since these doors open to the outside, people are going to be walking right past your window because they're walking on that balcony area. That's how they get from their rooms to the staircase. So be aware of that. Now, this morning there was a family getting ready in one of the adjacent rooms. I was hearing a lot of noise. It was quiet up until this morning. And as the family was getting ready, I was hearing chattering, talking, I was hearing the kids. So I was hearing a little bit of noise. So those are just a few last minute things. None of those, in my mind, a trade-off for this cost. Again, I paid about $200 a night for this room. None of those would make me say, no, I don't want to stay here. But in all fairness, I just had to make sure I reminded you of all of those things. So right now my bags are packed and I'm ready to go down to the Bellman and drop those off. I'm heading to the airport later this afternoon, so this morning I'm going to head over to Epcot. There is the Flower and Garden show right now going on at Epcot, so I'm going to partake in that this morning and part of the afternoon. And then later on, about 3 o'clock, I'll be heading to the airport. So I hope you enjoyed my room tour at the Pop Century in the 1960s area. I sure enjoyed staying here. It was really a good time, and I think it was a great room. As always, thanks for joining me. I'm Mark with the Average Me Channel.